Hello YouTube, Hiker Daniel here. Today I want to talk about an obscure piece of Pokemon history, Pokemon event cartridges for the Nintendo DS. Now, there is a chance you might have never heard of these things, and if you've heard of this topic it's probably due to YouTube videos like this one. Or because you're a hardcore Pokemon collector and might actually own one of those, in that case, good job. Now, the Pokemon series always has this annoying feature, having to attend real life events for rare Pokemon which you can't get in the game, which required you to get out of your room, go into public space and then go to a specific game store or Nintendo event to get that special Pokemon. This all started with Mew in Gen 1, where you had to go to specific stores to get Mew on your save file. But has anyone ever thought about how these processes actually worked, the process of getting one of these Pokemon? Back in Gen 1, some stores used to have special machines that would put the Mew on your save file, but those were only select stores and big brands. The vast majority of stores apparently used custom cartridges of the Gen 1 games sent out by Nintendo that contained parties and PCs filled to the max with Mews. An employee would take your Game Boy and manually trade your Mew to your save file. This is apparently how it worked for the vast majority of events up to Gen 4. Because in Gen 4 the DS was introduced. When the DS local wireless capabilities came, it changed the events in a radical way. Because for live attendee events, you had to now connect your local wireless on the DS to the local wireless point in the store, and then you would receive a rare event Pokemon via mystery gift. Now, for this Nintendo did not use regular Pokemon cartridges buffed up with a large supply of rare Pokemon, like in the previous generations. Instead they used custom event cartridges. They were sent to stores, the stores then ran these custom cartridges on DS's behind the counter, and they would emit a signal in the store that would allow customers to receive their Pokemon. Now, these cartridges were special, with custom data on them instead of a full Pokemon game. The idea behind it was, a few days prior to the event, the game store would get the cartridge, then have it run its course during the time that the event took place, then the cartridge would automatically stop transmitting due to the time lock present in the code, and the store would send the cartridge back to Nintendo for destruction. Nintendo never intended anyone to know about these cartridges, and this was a way that seemed perfect. Until Game Store employees decided to snag these cartridges away and take them home, and then later sell them online, realizing how valuable they would be to collectors. This actually happened quite a lot, especially with the DS cartridges, which can still be bought online second-hand from people that manage to get their hands on one. Or multiple even. But if you're thinking to get one, well, be prepared. They go for ridiculously high prices due to the extreme limited availability of these things. Yeah, Nintendo destroyed the cartridges when they got returned, so the few hundred, maybe thousand that actually survived, they are the only ones remaining in the wild, and thus they are extremely rare. And something that even increases the value is the fact that when you put your DS system date on the date of the events, and you put the cartridge in, you can still activate the cartridge's event. Meaning that if you manage to get your hands on one of those and you have the corresponding game for the event, you can still get your event Pokemon years after the event ended. And the best thing is that the game will view this legendary or shiny as legit, and they can be transferred all the way up to the most recent games because they are marked as legit. And that is awesome. But as I said before, these things go for ridiculously high prices online. Luckily, this is the internet age, and thus data from these cartridges is backed up by the community collectors that had enough money to buy all of them, giving us all a chance to see what they were all about. I was lucky enough to have a friend willing to set the whole thing up for me, so I can show you what it would have looked like to receive one of the events. Now, when you plug one of these bad boys from the Gen 4 era into your DS, you get a graphic of a small green field with a purple sky and a sign with a Pokeball on it. If the date on your DS does not match up with the date for the distribution, then the sign will tell you that distribution is not available. However, if the DS date does match up with the corresponding date, then the sign will tell you that distribution is pending and to press A to start distribution. Then, when you press A, distribution will commence, and if you have a corresponding game that works with the event, in this case I have Pokemon Pearl, you go to mystery gift, then wireless connection, and then if your distribution has begun, you will see the Pokemon Pearl DS that you have brought with you that has detected a mystery gift now. We now use the Manaphy event for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl on this cartridge. When we click accept, the game will put a Manaphy on our cartridge, and after we collected our Manaphy at the Pokeshop, we can actually see that the game gave us a legit Manaphy from the event. You can do this with basically any of the event Pokemon as long as you have a way to get the event running on a second DS. Unfortunately, my friend was only able to set up Manaphy and Jirachi for me. However, there are many more rare Pokemon that can still be obtained through this method years after the events occurred. And the game will treat it as a fully legit Pokemon. You just have to find a way to get it running. Now, from Gen 4, these Pokemon are able to be sent over to the newest games, the Sun and Moon games. And that is awesome, and something I will definitely be trying with my new Manaphy and Jirachi. Now, I do need to mention, I don't know how legal it is to own these things, that's why I don't own any of them myself, and I had a friend of mine set up the card, plus I can't really afford this because I'm poor. However, if I had the courage and the money, this would definitely be something I would love to have in my game collection, as it is something that is extremely rare. And that was a quick overview of the DS event cartridges. If you liked this video, I hope you stick around for the next one. And if not, we had a fun time here, I suppose. Now I need to start transferring my new event Pokemon to Sun and Moon, because I want to brag to my friends. See ya!